There's something wrong with Nancy Mace, and I'm not a fan of hers, and it's increasingly because she's not mentally well.
Well, you know it's pretty bad when even a conservative MAGA radio host takes the time to call you batshit crazy, which is saying a lot when compared to the rest of Trump world. But that is exactly what happened, and it is shocking. And it's funny. I guess it's shockingly funny. And poor Nancy Mace, she's kind of had a rough week. Actually, she's kind of had a rough month. All right, she's been a total mess for years, but you're still going to want to hear Eric Erickson go off on her. Take it from me, Steve Stevenson. Is Eric Erickson really his name? His parents are not very creative. But anyways, hit subscribe to Really American Media and help us annoy Nancy Mace by hitting 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. I would say help us hit it by the end of this week, but we have realistic expectations, unlike Miss Mace, who actually thinks she's going to be elected governor in the Palmetto State. Good luck with that, crazy cat lady.
I need a serious note with you guys right now, and I really do mean a serious note. I don't know if you are aware of it. Congresswoman Nancy Mace had a wild meltdown at the Charleston airport with security. It is very wild. She tried to blow it off later. When it blew up, she's running for governor there. There's something wrong with Nancy Mace, and I'm not a fan of hers, and it's increasingly because she's not mentally well, and it's really clear she's not mentally well, and I don't know if she has friends who can do an intervention with her, but Nancy Mace needs a real intervention. I'm actually worried about her if she doesn't win this gubernatorial primary, and I don't think she's going to. There's something really not right about Nancy Mace mentally.
Wait, she's not right mentally? She's right out of her mind. Does that count? And as for this airport meltdown, Nancy needs to change her name to Karen or maybe to Ken because it takes balls to go off on airport workers who aren't getting paid during a government shutdown.
This just into the newsroom tonight. Congresswoman Nancy Mace is responding to a report released by the Charleston County Aviation Authority Police. The report says Mace was making derogatory comments and irate before a flight at Charleston International Thursday morning. The incident report states that several officers were assigned to escort Mace from her car to her flight early Thursday morning. The report notes Mace arrived in a different vehicle and slightly later time than anticipated. The officers were notified Mace had already arrived at the security checkpoint by the crew member entrance. According to the report, Representative Mace was at the TSA checkpoint, quote, very irate. When approached by officers, Mace reportedly was loudly cursing and making derogatory comments. She was escorted to her gate while reportedly cursing and complaining how she had been treated.
What an entitled see you next Tuesday. And I don't throw that around loosely. Fun fact, we once had a dating coach on the Vocal Minority podcast because I was single. I used to be married to somebody with a see you next Tuesday kind of attitude. And she told me, if a woman treats the waiter poorly, that's how she's going to treat you when nobody is watching. So apparently Nancy didn't realize the whole world was watching because we see you, Nancy. We see how you treat people you think that are lesser than you. And so does Don Donaldson. What? Oh, Eric Erickson. Sorry. I don't mean to joke about this topic.
It's one thing to joke about it with other members of Congress, opportunists and whatnot, but I mean, there's something really wrong with Nancy Mace. There's something mentally very wrong with Nancy Mace. And this meltdown in Charleston is the latest example of it.
Yeah, and the funny thing about this Nancy Mace airport meltdown is that apparently none of the cops had their body cams on, so we can only see her on the airport surveillance video. We cannot hear her. But do not worry, Nancy Mace is not smart enough to lie about her behavior or to just apologize.
Did I drop an F-bomb? I hope I did. Did I call them incompetent? If I didn't, they absolutely earned it. I am not going to be the next person shot and killed in cold blood.
Spoken like a true Karen, who, by the way, is now calling these cops dirty cops because they outed her. I thought MAGA was all about back in the blue.
Her going to the floor of the House of Representatives and making a lot of serious accusations about other people that she won't make off the floor of the House because she can't be sued for things she says on the floor. She's taken advantage of the speech and debate clause to malign other people in pretty vicious terms, and she won't talk about it off the floor of the House where she could be sued, suggests that She's using her privilege in Congress to smear other people to advance her own career, which in and of itself is bad. But then her reactions to these, to the blowback out of Congress I'm really worried about her mental well-being.
Yeah, don't worry about her mental well-being. She is clearly not worried about it. And in case you don't know what Eric Erickson is talking about, we have other breaking Nancy Mace news out today. Get this, her ex-fiance is in fact suing Nancy Mace despite those perceived protections for being on the floor of Congress. Patrick Bryant, that's the guy, age 51, has accused Mace of plotting with his friend's estranged wife to falsely claim that he assaulted a woman. I would say what kind of assault, but I think YouTube will censor me. But you read it on that headline, right? Serious stuff. The ex-fiance, who clearly dodged a bullet better than Neo from The Matrix, also said that the South Carolina Republican hacked his phone and tracked his car, also known as dating a crazy lady. The Congresswoman went scorched earth on Bryant and three of his business partners in a nearly hour-long speech on the House floor back in February. The alleged assault she's talking about happened in 2018, but Nancy Mace was with him until they had a messy breakup in 2023 when she apparently put a tracker on his car and hacked his phone. She allegedly used what she found on his phone, which would have been evidence of a crime he committed like 5 years ago and was just keeping it on his phone for some reason. But she used what she found to blackmail him into giving up his stake in their two homes worth over $6 million.
And I don't know if she's got friends in Congress or friends in South Carolina who can actually help her, but that's not the behavior of a normal person. Her behavior as a member of Congress, you can take that out of the equation. Her behavior as just a human being in the Charleston airport and several of the other things that she's done is not the behavior of someone who is a normal frame of mind. So, one, she definitely needs a lot of prayer. But two, I got to say, if any of you members of Congress who are listening or people in South Carolina who know her, she needs an intervention. There's something not well about Nancy Mace right now.
Yeah, something does seem rotten in Denmark, or in this case, South Carolina. And I'm sure Fred Fredrickson there is right about her being mentally ill, which is a little ironic because Nancy Mace was just on the Michael Smirkonish radio show, and she threw a total hissy fit when she got confronted about her transphobia, and she called a war veteran mentally ill for transitioning.
Joe's a wonderful person who for 16 years has served in the Virginia National Guard, helicopter pilot, Black Hawk helicopter pilot, machine gunner, Iraq service. Recently, like many others, drummed out of the military because Joe has transitioned.
He is not a she. I'm going to tell you right now, Michael. I'm not going to allow some guy who is mentally ill to take those achievements away from my daughter. Try to be more respectful to your female guests.
Nancy, nobody's more respectful than me. I let you say everything you wanted to say. I mean, come on. We've been on the.
While I did it, it's great, Michael. I'm sure it'll be great for your ratings.
All right, Nancy, thank you. Oh, and she hung up.
Well, I certainly hope that Nancy Mace gets the help she needs, and I hope the voters in South Carolina give her the free time to do it. Okay. Please like this video, comment below. I would love to know your thoughts on all of this insanity, and get vocal. From the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve podcast, newest episode just got posted, so go check it out. It's on the live tab here on this page. I'm Steve Harness for Really American Media.